It's men tell all like you have never seen before.
Next week, we have 2 episodes of The Bachelorette to look forward to, and we already know there was going to be a whole lot of drama. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have to talk about the latest Bachelorette teaser, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms and Gabby Gonta. Hi, guys.
Hi, Fiona.
Hi.
Hello, hello. So, you guys, next week is shaping up to be a big week. We know Bennett is somehow magically going to be back. We've got hometowns to look forward to. And after quite a roller coaster ride, they've revealed they are giving us a men tell all. Let's just dive right in and start breaking down these clips. First of all, we have the Bennett bomb that is going off.
Next week on The Bachelorette.
This thing could be the bomb that just explodes everything.
So, I mean, I guess Ivan could be talking about any bomb, but I feel like it's the Bennett bomb. How did this happen? When people get sent home, they don't usually get to just turn around and come back. What are your initial reactions to Bennett not only coming back, but them revealing it to us now in these teasers? What do you think, Gabby?
I think it's so crazy. Like you've said, you know, we don't have people coming back again after they've been sent off. Like those are the rules of the show. We need some rules and structure in this show at this point. But I think in terms of Bennett, like he was such a powerful voice. So he's definitely not going to make the rest of them happy. And he's just fighting for his way back onto the show. And these guys, they're trying to get down to the wire. There's already so many of them to compete against. They don't need another one.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what the bomb is also, that it's Bennett returning. Fiona, you said, how did this happen? I'm wondering the same thing. How did this happen and why did this happen? Why Bennett? But, you know, it's probably because he does have like that main character energy. And I could definitely see the producers like telling him to go back in and fight for Tayshia like he did at the end there. So I get why it happened. I'm just honestly not that happy to see him back.
Well, you guys, the good news is we get 2 episodes next week, which honestly is so exciting. Couldn't be coming at a better time.
It's back-to-back nights of The Bachelorette.
This intensifies every single moment from here on out.
Next Monday and Tuesday.
So again, I feel like we just heard Brendan talking about how this intensifies things. I mean, when we left off with Tayshia, she seemed to be pretty wowed by what Bennett did. She's always wanted someone to show up for her in that way. I think that, you know, hometowns are on the line. Emotions are already running high. This could really be like a pivotal moment for some of our like front runner guys who are starting to feel safe. Avery, I mean, do you expect there to be some drama this week?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Especially with Bennett back, you know, that's such a plot twist. But Tayshia did say she wanted someone to show up and he did that. And then he also said, I love you, which was crazy. So I think she was just kind of taking it all in and caught up with all those emotions. But I think he got sent home for a reason and he didn't need to come back on. So hopefully later on, she'll probably realize that. But they love throwing in all these twists and turns and surprises. I'm honestly not surprised when I saw him show up at her door.
I agree. I think we didn't find out who got the roses, you know, as the key to hometown dates because we didn't get to that rose ceremony this episode. So I think that's why we have just so much ground to catch up on next week and why there's probably 2 episodes. So I think we'll find out who those guys are that are going to hometowns, and then they might split it up, you know, 2 hometowns on Monday and 2 on Tuesday or something like that, if there is 4. Who knows anymore? Or the rules are thrown out the window and things are just getting crazy at this point.
They certainly are. This next clip, you guys, is so sad to watch because, of course, every bachelor, bachelorette goes through their ups and downs. There's a lot of drama, but for the most part, we've seen a very happy Tayshia. And it looks like that might be taking a turn this week.
I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
So she's done and she doesn't want to do it anymore. That feels to me like a huge leap because we know she's falling in love with multiple people from this lie detector test. She's got some really great guys. I can't imagine what happens that gets her to be in this place. Gabby, what are your thoughts? I mean, it feels like things are going to take a bit of a turn.
I think they really are. This is pretty shocking because Tayshia has been so outspoken and strong and really proving herself as the Bachelorette and the lead this season. Knowing what she wants, having a past marriage, like really ready to get down to it. But like you said, she's clearly falling in love with multiple guys. So I think she just has too much of a good thing at this point, and that's going to come and be difficult for her to narrow down or to refine her feelings. Or maybe, you know, something big happens where a guy she's falling for, she finds out more about him that just doesn't add up with what she wants or what she's looking for. So it could be a lot of things that cause this moment, or it could be, you know, one big moment.
Yeah, I mean, they've been getting us with these teasers lately, but I feel like this one actually could be something. So far, she's had a pretty like smooth ride. Everything's been going pretty well. We haven't seen like intense crying moments yet. So that's why this is so shocking and surprising, because I haven't even caught on to anything it could possibly be, because everything seems great with each guy. She has great connections, so it looks like a twist is coming next week.
I know, it's so crazy. I mean, I love what both of you said, but I do think that's a good point, Gabby. Maybe it's like the Bachelorette's kind of like unique new problem. The guys are really great. She's got too much to choose from, so she doesn't want to do it. That would be a twist in and of itself. But let's take a look at this next clip because it is the Bennett, you know, return moment that I don't think any of us were really expecting or needing to see. Let's check it out.
I felt like there was a lot of unfinished business, so I'm back.
Good evening. Bennett walks in like he never left. You guys look like you've seen a ghost.
So, you guys, I don't even know what to say. I feel like the I'm back moment paired with him just like popping up out of the darkness. He's definitely bringing a whole new mood. You know, obviously he didn't hitchhike back to the resort. This was clearly arranged by the producers. And, you know, one theory I saw said something along the lines of, I'm stealing this from someone on Twitter, but like perhaps they realized that they did too good a job of casting these guys. We've got a lot of level-headed people who have been through some emotional roller coasters in their lives and seem to be really like strong and confident in who they are. So they were like, oh shoot, without Bennett and Noah, there's no drama left. I mean, why do you think after all this, Bennett came back? Was it producers trying to stir the pot? Was it Tayshia telling someone behind the scenes, you know, she regretted what she's done? What feels like the most likely version of this story? What do you think, Avery?
I think you said it right there. I feel like once he was removed from the whole show, everything was just so smooth. There were no problems. And they were probably like, he was our entertainment. Like, he was the source. So even with the lie detector test, when she was like, they asked if she regretted sending anyone home, and she apparently lied about that. I feel like that could have been a possible hint that it was Bennett. There was just little hints that he wasn't gone for good. And then the episode ended with him showing back up. Definitely seems like this was the producer's job. And it was so anticlimactic when he was like, I'm back, because everyone's like, why? But it should be interesting.
I think Bennett is starting to give like major creepy vibes in all of these new clips because he just is so like stone faced, and maybe that's just his personality. But yeah, just like popping out of the dark and then being like, I'm back. It's like a creepy villain vibe. So maybe they're trying to like egg him on for that. But also I feel like Bennett is just someone who can never lose, I guess. So he even said himself he was shocked to find out, you know, he lost to the Bennett and Noah duel and like left the show. So I feel like after he left, he did some reflecting and was like, wait, like, what do you mean I didn't win? Like, what do I need to do to like be back and like win her over and do all this stuff? And he probably just came out and said, oh, well, I should just tell her that I love her. And like, that'll like be a surefire way for me to, you know, have another place in this competition. So I feel like that was going through his head a little bit. And maybe he was the one to say, hey, like, give me another chance, to the producers to let him talk to her and see where that goes. And here we are.
It will be so interesting to see how it plays out nonetheless. We've said it before, I'll say it again. This is going to be a really important week, and we've been thrown a curveball. So I think it's pretty obvious that emotions are going to be running high, but we do see some more of that in this next clip.
I'm scared to death.
I'm nervous as hell.
I don't want to hurt anyone.
This is really real for me.
I don't see him coming back.
So that last line there is Riley saying, I don't see him coming back. Now, of course, that could mean somebody's left, you know, someone like got upset and walked out. It could mean like, I don't see him coming back from that. Like somebody, you know, somebody does something and it's going to be hard to recover from. What do you guys think? Are you anticipating that at this stage of the game, any of these guys would be like, I'm going to choose to walk out? What are your thoughts, Gabby?
I don't think so. I think they've gotten so far with Tayshia, and it's such a tough like race between them right now for her heart, because they all have such strong connections and they just keep getting better. So I don't think anyone's going to send themselves home, but he could be talking about Bennett if he doesn't end up staying after this next rose ceremony, you know, coming back again and trying for Tayshia again. But either way, I mean, I think in that short clip, in total, every single guy was like tearing up and crying and getting emotional. So either way, this next week is going to take a toll on everybody in that house.
Yeah, I don't know if it's someone left. I don't know if he's coming back or if back from a situation. It's really hard to tell. The only thing I could think of is maybe some Noah and Bennett drama started back up and then Noah left, but I'm really unsure who it could be or what it could be, but it looks pretty intense.
It certainly does. I mean, of course, there's a lot on the line. I think they're all, you know, hitting that turn of emotions where it's not just like, I think I love her anymore. They're all head over heels. So I think that just makes everything so much more complicated. We see another clip here where Tayshia, to put it bluntly, just really seems devastated. So it seems like either another tough decision is going to have to be made, or perhaps someone does leave and that's the source of this. But again, we're going to be seeing kind of a different side of Tayshia this week.
This is really hard.
So what's interesting to me, and I've never stayed at this resort, so I could just be literally making things up, but it looks like they're kind of at like the entrance or the exit or the parking lot, you know, like I'm not familiar with this area. It just feels like an odd place for her to be for some reason to me. So I'm really curious if maybe she puts Bennett in a car again and, you know, isn't sure of her decision, or maybe, you know, the Bennett and Noah drama happens. And like you said, Avery, Noah decides he's out and then she really regrets things. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to see her like this because I feel like she really has been pretty happy throughout this whole process. Do you guys think that she's going to sort of question things moving forward, or this will be a momentary lapse and then we'll have our confident, you know, happy Tayshia back? What do you think, Gabby?
I think it's just momentary because she's such a strong woman. And I know she's going to get through it at the end, whether she ends up with a boyfriend or a fiance. You know, I think she's going to get really close, and it's obviously not going to come without some tough moments like this. And I think, you know, like you mentioned, she's out in the street. So it could be the moment she sends someone home. That's just a really hard breakup. Or if someone does end up sending themselves home and she's just upset over it. So it's just emotions are running super high. And hopefully we'll get this moment next week, though, so we can not have to wait any longer for something like this.
Yeah, I think we're just getting to that point of the show where everything's way more intensified. Emotions are super high. And I don't think this will be the last time she cries because, you know, it just gets more real from here on out. And there's a ring coming up in marriage, and that's just a huge deal, and it goes by so quick, and it's just crazy to see how everyone handles it differently. And just this moment right here looks like either she just sent someone home or someone went home, and it's just hitting her all right then and there that she has to continue to see more people leave. And that's one of the hardest parts about this as the show just goes on and people develop stronger feelings for each other. And it's just this ongoing spiral. And then in reality, she only could be with one person at the end of it. And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught up and forget that it is just one at the end of it, because she is making such great connections with multiple people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think we all forget that. Like, I'm not looking to pick the one right now. I just like have my little squad that I like, and I keep wanting them to do good, but I would be devastated to lose, you know, any of them. And I'm obviously not Tayshia and not in love with them. So I cannot imagine what it's like to be in her shoes. We also got a look at the Men Tell All, and I don't know if I've ever been as excited for a tell all. The only thing that could rival it is like maybe Peter's season. But this seems like it's going to be a wild ride, you guys.
It's Men Tell All like you have never seen before.
There it is.
So basically, I was going to say, basically, I feel like this one is going to be crazy because these guys had 2 bachelorettes. They're going to have 2 sets of emotions to unpack. 2 like completely different worlds of drama. I mean, I feel like this could get pretty ugly. What do you think, Avery?
Yeah, so we have the old guys, the new guys. Some guys were only just there for Claire, which I totally forgot. That was such early days. So just the whole dynamic of this will be so different. And I love this because they first said they might not have a Men Tell All, which is like what everyone looks forward to. And it's just fun to see those faces that we kind of forget about and just hear everyone's perspectives and thoughts and get the air all cleared. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of this whole show.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be totally different than any other tell-alls we've seen because it was such a strange season. The 2 leads and then the COVID of everything. And probably some of these guys haven't even met, like the early Claire guys and like the early Tayshia guys or something like that. So maybe guys are meeting for the first time here and discussing all this drama that went down. But overall, though, I think these guys have been like pretty good about not getting into fights or not having drama and stuff throughout most of the seasons. I think we've like complimented them so many times about how they handle things and how they're just good sports and everything. So, you know, hopefully that things come up. And I mean, clearly we're going to see some arguing and some drama unfolding. But overall, these guys have been pretty chill. So I'm interested to see if it's like an explosive tell-all or if it's more on the chill side.
Well, this next clip teases some of the faces we will be seeing. I don't know, Gabby. I don't know if we're going to be on the chill side. Let's take a look.
He's a fraud, fake, and phony.
You stirred the pot. Talk about it. No woman deserves to be talked to like that. I'm not going to apologize.
That's not right.
So I can't even talk about anybody else we saw because I am already livid at Yosef just for saying he's not going to apologize. I don't even care what it is they're asking him to apologize for. I feel like he owes all of us a million apologies. I kind of honestly forgot about him. I'm like so shocked. I don't even know if I'm ready to hear from him again. Are you excited that Yosef will be there, Avery, or do you wish we were just done with him?
I mean, I did totally forget about him. I think just because it was kind of a relief once he left. So the fact that he's sitting in the chair next to Chris Harrison shows that he was like a key role at some point, but he was just basically the only like real villain on the show this season. And the fact that he's still acting like that and isn't going to apologize for whatever it was, because I'm sorry, it's just old news now. Just apologize. Like, still holding a grudge. Crazy, immature, exactly what we don't like to see. But that's the villain for you.
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about Yosef. Disregard all my notes about this is going to be a chill episode. Clearly, there's just so much like... so many bad words and just like pointing fingers and all of that already. So especially because Yosef's there, and then all the other guys who were against his actions and behaviors toward Claire, they're certainly going to let him know how they feel. I'm curious to see if Claire or Tayshia show up, because sometimes during these tell-alls, you know, they bring the lead in and say, here are all your exes, what would you like to say, or what would the guys like to say to them? So I don't think we've seen them show up in this clip, and because of COVID and everything, depending on when they film this, who knows if they're going to be a part of this, but I think it would be interesting if they were.
It looks like, I think we have in this next clip a quick moment with Tayshia, but I'm pretty sure, unless this is going to be like the surprise, we will be getting no Claire. Let's take a look at this next clip.
And Tayshia returns to face the men she sent home.
I don't see us being friends after this.
Why the hell are you here other than to feed your ego?
It's 2 nights of all new episodes next Monday and Tuesday.
So we are seeing something from Tayshia. I cannot imagine Ed saying that to Tayshia, but okay, maybe he did. Do you think that at this stage of the game, we're going to get like surprise Claire's here? Like, do you think that that's something that they would not feel they could just put in the promo? Does that make sense? Like, is Claire's presence going to be the like bombshell drop at Men Tell All? For some reason, I kind of feel like, no, we're just going to get Tayshia. What do you think, Gabby?
I also think no. I think it would be interesting and really cool, but I think she's just like thriving with Dale right now. And we already sort of got a after the final rose tell all with both of them, just showing, you know, where they are in their relationship now. And so it seems like we've sort of closed the envelope and sealed it on those two. So I don't see them coming back, but not sure.
Yeah, I think it could be a possibility, but I feel like she wants nothing to do with this. And a lot of viewers, like, I feel like they're at the point where they're like, okay, this is Tayshia's season. And like you said, she kind of had her moment already with the tell all, like the mini version. So I don't think Claire's going to show up. If she was, I could see the guys saying, like, I don't think Ed just said that to Tayshia, but if anything was going to be said that was bad about the lead, I think they would say it to Claire, not Tayshia. I don't really think they have anything bad to necessarily say about Tayshia. There wasn't that much conflict. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, I agree with you, Avery. I think Claire is just done. I think she is happily ever after with Dale. And to be honest with you, if I were Claire, I don't know that I'd want to talk to a bunch of guys whose hearts I broke in like such a whirlwind fashion. Like, what do you even say? The only weird thing I can think of is, you know, Yosef being there, you know, we see him sitting next to Chris Harrison, which means he's going to get a little chance to speak. You know, he had nothing to do with Tayshia's season. He was technically such a small part of the show. So perhaps it's a little odd to have him, you know, come on just to battle it out with some of the guys. But again, I also think that, you know what, maybe they just thought this guy's gonna say some crazy stuff again and that makes for good ratings and good TV. So why the heck not? Obviously, you guys, we will just have to wait and see what happens. There's no question that the tell-all episodes are always incredible. And on top of that, we've got another just regular episode to look forward to next week. So many exciting things on the horizon. We want to know what you think is going to happen with Bennett being back, you know, how Tayshia's going to react, how the men are going to react. Let us know down in the comments. And if you have any predictions for Men Tell All, we would love to hear those as well. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I was joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms and Gabby Gonta. If you guys want to come say hi on socials, our handles are on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.